Hello everybody, my name is Milana and I'm a CX lead for RBI. I would like to present to you our entire CX team. We have Veselin, Ivan, Mirna, Maria and Gabriela. Please join us to find out why we are confident we can win Best Team in the Customer Centricity World Series Awards. This is the story of how a handful of determined people can make an extraordinary difference in a big company. So let's start. After the team was created, our immediate goal was to set off the customer-centric transformation in RBI for all 13 markets and the head office, which altogether make up about 47,000 employees. And we were eager and excited for the challenge. There were a couple of pain points that needed to be addressed. Firstly, we have faced a very low understanding of what customer experience is and why it is important to become an integral part of the corporate mindset. There was much confusion to it. For example, what is the difference between UX and CX? Is customer service the same as customer experience, and so on? Secondly, the low engagement of the employees both within the head office and at market level. RBI head office played a very traditional role, generating one-sided communication and imposing the strategy top-down. Without a clear understanding of its purpose and benefits, employees were reluctant to devote time and energy to focus on the customer. One-way communication led to perceiving CX transformation as one-off task for one team instead of all employees embracing an active role in the change. Another significant barrier we had as a team was our size. For a year and a half, only 2 people handled CX for the entire organization across 13 markets. But what we lacked in numbers, we made up for in clever strategy. To overcome these barriers, we had a clear agenda ahead of us. First, become visible and credible across the entire organization. Second, boost employees' engagement both in head office and at the market level. Let's look at some of the solutions we adopted in more depth. To increase our visibility and credibility, we made our work transparent for the other colleagues via constant communication across all board areas and all the markets. Conventional and unconventional channels were used to send 2 messages: regular updates on the projects run by the CX team and education on the CX topics. Our strategy included an integrated channel approach and buzzworthy out-of-the-box initiatives. But what turned us into the go-to team was our approachable, collaborative, and transparent philosophy. Firstly, we acted on the fact that there was no CX networking among multiple digital communities in RBI. Thus, we created the community, which consisted of CX experts from all markets and organized regular monthly calls to update the local markets on the head office projects, share best practices, and collect their feedback for further implementation. With over 25 initiatives and around 85% attendance rate, the participants rated these meetings with 4.8 out of 5 in usefulness and content quality. To become part of everybody's agenda, the CX team needed to proactively reach out to all heads of the departments and pitch for the time for CX topics on their internal meetings. CX team also used big forums such as HR annual meeting or workshops for manager talents. The number of invitations has increased and we are now averaging at 3 per month. We created a dedicated CX knowledge hub on the intranet to explain the role of customer experience, address misconceptions, provide best practices and inspiration, and describe what's in it for the employees in a simple human language. It is easy to spot on our hub among other internet pages. It just pops up. And that is why it only took 1 month to make the most visited online hub in RBI corporate network by the number of unique viewers and total site visits. We also created the MS Team channel, an internal social media channel that encouraged dialogue and attracted employees outside the CX community. Users would write comment, reply, and discuss openly, drawing the management's attention. We are now 200 members strong, and unlike any other channel in the organization, the level of active users is almost at 100%. So, no silent observers here. Moreover, we raised awareness through running an internal communication campaign that stood out from the usual corporate campaigns, both visually and content-wise. Simple, contextual message, formulated in witty, surprising way of unconventional touchpoints, created buzz and spread word of mouth in the head office. To make the messages behind the content easier to digest, we created 2 customer experience mascots, called Finn and Clara, that guided the users through the content. Moreover, we used animations instead of stock photos, secondary color palettes instead of RBI black and yellow, provocative messages instead of conservative formal communication, making the most talked about campaign in RBI. 2 network banks have so far adopted the campaign's concept. The customer experience team's activities have not only improved the credibility and visibility of the head office team, but have consequently boosted the importance and visibility of all the local customer experience teams. These activities have put customer experience very high on the agenda and created many supporters that provided additional resources for the small CX team. Aside from raising awareness at the same time, we also needed to sparkle employees' engagement. The most critical aspect was triggering their interest and creating opportunities to take an active role in the CX transformation. We have focused on co-creation as the central pillar of work. The strategy was set to achieve higher engagement, more relevance, and gain an early buy-in. For the methods and tools to be accepted and beneficial for all, they needed to be created considering the needs of both head office and the markets. Our efforts have made the co-creation of CX tools and methodologies a way of working. We decided to include selected markets and relevant head office colleagues in the methodology creation process to increase relevance and the adoption rate on top of engagement. Apart from involvement in gathering inputs, all the markets and stakeholders were consulted to verify the final outputs. This resulted in 100% adoption rate in all markets and head office. We also never stopped gathering feedback after each call, meeting, or workshop so that the process could be genuinely collaborative and efficient. Unlike usual after-meeting emails and surveys, with an unimpressive response rate, we introduced a new approach to feedback collection. 1. Sharing the importance and the purpose of giving feedback in the meeting. 2. Collecting feedback on the spot, dedicating 5 minutes of the meeting to run survey. 3. Communicating the results immediately and agreeing on what needs to be modified for the following sessions. Consequently, the response rate to the CX service has been at 50 to 60%, whereas the usual RBI average is around 15 to 20%. Furthermore, we created a network of CX content creators, or CX ambassadors as we like to call them, through CX Intranet and CX MS Teams channel, because it takes a team to get the message across. The CX ambassadors were the drivers of the self-running, content-generating community of CX enthusiasts who have contributed to the CX channels becoming the richest in content within the network. The CX ambassadors were updating the channels 2 to 3 times a week with relevant and dynamic content, which had the constant attention of the organization. Since a good grasp of CX makes us all winners, we used gamification mechanics to take engagement to the next level and rewarded colleagues that participated in the challenges and quizzes we were doing for them. For instance, the first colleagues to use our personalized MS Team CX campaign wallpaper, who completed our quiz or offered valuable feedback, got awarded attractive prizes and CX merchandise. One of the golden rules of customer experience is to walk the talk, and we acted accordingly. The NPS fixing project we led in 4 markets are a great example. We have introduced this learning exercise to help local teams look for customer pain points and potential quick fixes. We created a local team and engaged them in cross-examining business performance indicators. Our crucial learning here, instead of denying and blaming, it is much better to recognize and fix the mistakes. Bottom line, our small but strong team provoked a massive shift in mindset and behavior within RBI. The most significant value is the one that cannot be easily quantified. The positive attitude and word-of-mouth effect that was created to boost the CX transformation. We have proven that the customer experience is not only the attitudes towards work, but it directly impacts the business results. Since the CX team has been in charge of the strategy, we improved NPS in 5 markets and maintained the leading positions in other 5. Customer experience is no longer seen as additional workload, but the way we work. Teams are reaching out to us for guidance and counsel on more and more projects. We became credible and recognized by the top management. We were even invited to hold a CX workshop for the leadership team, group board, and all CEOs. We have been featured in the quarterly corporate magazine and continuously presented in the RBI News Network. And maybe the actual proof of the trust in the customer experience team is that we grew from 2 people to 6 in a year. As you see, in short time, we made the entire organization see customer experience as a business game changer and got everybody on board the CX journey towards customer centricity. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed our CX transformation story.